Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum?
We have a quorum, Chair.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon again. It's now 3:30.
3:30.
And the Secretary having advised me that a quorum is present, I will now call the meeting to order. I am Andre Foote, and I'm still the chairman of the Board of Directors of Regency Petroleum Company Limited. And it is with great pleasure to welcome you to this 4th annual general meeting of the shareholders. The meeting is being held in person only, and the recordings will be made available. On behalf of my fellow directors, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you, all the shareholders, both here in person and those on the online platform. I also wish to extend special welcome to the representatives from our auditors, McKinley & Associates, Chartered Accountants, Mr. Wilfred McKinley and Mrs. Helen Francis. Special welcome also to Mr. Dane Pattison from our law firm Pattison Mere Hamilton, our legal advisors. I also want to welcome our registrar of the Jamaica JCSD Trust and Corporate Services, members of the press, and all our guests and our team members present. Please join me in extending also a warm welcome to our management team of RPL, who will be introduced by our CEO at the appropriate time. As you all know, we are a God-fearing company, so we're going to start with prayers, and I'm going to invite our director, Mr. Edgar Bennett, to offer prayers to start the proceedings.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Could you kindly stand with me as we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here safely. We thank you for RPL. We thank you for the services that this company have been providing, the lives that have been impacted, and we invite your presence to guide us through the proceedings. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Later in these proceedings, we will hear from our CEO, Mr. Andrew Williams, and representative of the auditors. You may address any questions to both gentlemen. We look forward to our robust discussions, and while we may not have time to fully address all of them in this forum, we will certainly ensure to have every question get its full attention. Notice of meeting. The notice of meeting was dispatched to all shareholders on April 30th, 2026. The notice was also posted on the Jamaica Stock Exchange website and is available on the company's website. If there is no objection, I seek your permission of the meeting that the notice convening this meeting be taken as read. May I have a motion? Nicola Borough. Seconded by Livingston Young. Those in favor? Those against? The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried. I am pleased to welcome our directors who are here today, and I introduce you to them. From left going down, we have our dear company secretary, Mrs. Janice Grant Taff. who I don't know how I would manage without her. And then, of course, our CEO, Mr. Andrew Williams. Then there's Mr. Edgar Bennett, Mr. A. Bradley Cockin, some may know him as Andrew Cockin, and of course, Mr. Ratcliffe Nibbs today, my furthest left. Mr. Hugh Grant, our mentor director, is not here as yet. Your directors are all welcomed, are all well accomplished. Our directors are all well accomplished in their respective fields. And you will note from their profiles on pages 6 to 8 of the annual report that together there's a good balance of diverse and relevant skills required to lead this company. I would also like to take this opportunity to highlight the excellent work done during the past year by our board and its committees. We are grateful to the members for their continued vigilance and guidance regarding critical governance functions during the year, resulting in a BB rating for the company in the Jamaica Stock Exchange Corporate Governance Index for 2024-25. I am particularly pleased that this year's score has moved up. The company received a rating of BB, with the score improving from 74.6% to 76.94%. So this therefore means we are trending in the right direction, and as a publicly listed company, you all know this is very important to us and to you as the shareholders. This rating represents a slight movement over the previous year, and our aim is to further improve the score over the next period. I wish to thank the board committees and management in the work put in to accomplish this after only 3.5 years as a listed company. The meetings were held in hybrid or in person and facilitated ongoing assessment of the company's performance against agreed targets and its overall governance. Discussions were robust and provided management with guidance in achieving its deliverables. One of the key pillars of a successful corporate governance framework is the assessment of the performance of the board as a whole. The board evaluation on the performance year 2025 was launched in the first quarter of 2026, and the findings will be discussed at a subsequent meeting of the board to be held at the end of the second quarter of 2026. We also take director training seriously, and the directors were held to a very interactive session on the role of the board in value creation. In keeping with its mandate, the company continues to build on its strong brand presence in the communities it serves through its robust corporate social activities. The company continues to chart its course by expanding into new markets. The CEO will address you on these later. Please join me in commending our CEO, Mr. Andrew Williams, for his vision and leadership of his team and the company over the past 3.5 years. To you, our shareholders, we remain committed to our partnership with you and will continue to update you on the company's operations and future plans through our quarterly investor briefings. We also encourage you to keep the communication lines open and seize the opportunity to reach out to us even outside the annual general meeting through the investor relations portal on the website. Once again, I thank you, and we now proceed to the formal aspect of this AGM. Finally, regarding today's resolutions, you'll be asked to consider various resolutions at the appropriate time. The notice of the meeting, you said that earlier, right?
Yeah, sorry. Page was duplicated.
The resolutions being considered for this meeting can be found in the notice of the AGM on the page 4 of the annual report. The first item of ordinary business of the meeting is to receive the audited accounts for the year ended December 31st, 2025, and the reports of the directors and auditors thereon. I will ask the President and CEO, Mr. Williams, to address the meeting to provide you with a high-level summary of 2025 as well, to update you on the current operations and outlook of the company. Once Mr. Williams is finished, we will open the meeting to questions from you, the shareholders. On the housekeeping matters, all stakeholders who have questions should wait to be acknowledged and first state their names. The second, third, fourth, and fifth items of ordinary business will be dealt with in the resolutions to elect and re-elect directors and approve the remuneration of the directors and auditors for the year ending December 31st, 2025. The audited financial statements and reports which were contained in the company's annual report for the year ended December 31st, 2025. The company's 2025 annual report was lodged with the Jamaica Stock Exchange on April 28th, 2025. 2026 or 2025? 2026. May I have a motion that the director's report be taken as read? Winston Young. Seconded? Ansel Bloomfield. Those in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried. We will now invite Mrs. Helen Francis, representative of auditors, McKinley and Associates, to read the report of the auditors. The key audit matters for 2025 period are highlighted in the financial statements starting at page 20 of the report. Welcome, Ms. Helen Francis, again. Give her a clap.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I must apologize for Mr. McKinley. The rain got him on Saturday and he's out. So, yes, I'm sure he misses being here too. I have Mr. Docker with me. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, board. Thank you. I will now read the independent auditor's report from McKinley and Associates, and it's in your report. I think it's at about page 48. That I'm reading from at page 48 in your. To the members of Regency Petroleum Company Limited, this is the independent auditor's report on the audit of the financial statements. Our opinion. In our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of Regency Petroleum Company Limited as at the 31st of December, 2025, and of its financial performance and its cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with International Financial Reporting Standards, IFRS, and the Jamaican Companies Act. What have we audited? The company's financial statements comprises the statement of financial position as at the 31st of December 2025, the statement of comprehensive income for the year then ended, the statement of cash flows for the year then ended, the statement of changes in equity for the year then ended, the notes to the financial statements, which include a summary of significant accounting policies. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing ICs. Our responsibilities under these standards are further described in the auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. We are independent of the company in accordance with the International Code of Ethics for Professional Accountants, including international standards, issued by the International Ethics Standard Boards for Accountants, IESBA Code. We have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the IESBA Code. Scope of the audit. As part of designing our audit, we determine materiality and assess the risk of material misstatements in the financial statements. In particular, we considered where management made subjective judgments, for example, in respect of significant accounting estimates that involve making assumptions and considering future events that are inherently uncertain. As in all of our audits, we also address the risk of management override of internal controls, including, among other matters, consideration of whether there was evidence of bias that represented a risk of material misstatement due to fraud or errors. Key audit matter. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements. Key audit matters are selected from the matters communicated with the audit committee members, those charged with governance, but are not intended to represent all matters that were discussed with them. These matters are addressed in context of our audit of the financial statement as a whole and informing our opinion thereon. We do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. During our work, we encountered one key audit matter as noted below: impact of Hurricane Melissa on property, plant, and equipment, and related impairment assessment. On October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa caused significant physical damage to the company's operations in Western Jamaica. As at the reporting date, the carrying amount of property, plant, and equipment, PPE, and related assets exposed to the hurricane presented a material portion of the company's total assets. Management was required to exercise significant judgment in the following areas. 1, assessing the extent of physical damage to affected assets, determine whether indicators of impairment exist in accordance with IAS 36, that's impairment of assets, estimating recoverable amounts, including expected insurance recoveries, and determine the appropriate accounting treatment for asset write-offs, impairment losses, restoration costs, and related disclosures of significant estimates and uncertainties. Given the scale of the damage, the level of judgment involved, and the inherent estimation uncertainty associated with impairment assessment and insurance recoveries, this matter was considered to be a key audit matter. How the matter was addressed in the audit. Our audit procedures include, among others, obtaining an understanding of management's assessment of hurricane-related damage and evaluating the design and implementation of relevant controls. Inspecting damage assessment report prepared by independent engineers, valuers, and insurance adjusters. Performing site visits, where practicable, to affected locations in Western Jamaica. Evaluating management's identification of impairment indicators in accordance with IAS 36. Assessing the reasonableness of key assumptions using impairment models, including future cash flow forecasts, discount rates, and estimated restoration timelines, reviewing insurance policies and correspondence with insurers, and assessing the recognition of measurement of insurance recoveries in accordance with IAS 37 provisions, contingent liabilities, and contingent assets, testing the mathematical accuracy of impairment calculations and write-offs, and evaluating the adequacy of related disclosures concerning significant judgment, estimation, uncertainty, and subsequent events in accordance to IFRS. Responsibilities of management and the board of directors for the financial statement. Management is responsible for the preparation of these financial statements that give a true and fair view of in accordance with IFRS, and for such internal control as management determines is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error. In preparing the financial statements, management is responsible for assessing the company's ability to continue as a going concern, disclosing as applicable matters relating to going concern, and using the going concern basis of accounting unless management either intends to liquidate the company or cease operation or has no realistic alternative but to do so. The board of directors is responsible for overseeing the company's financial reporting process. The auditor's responsibility for the audit of the financial statements. The objective of our audit are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are whole or free from material misstatements, whether due to fraud or error, or to issue auditor's report that includes our opinion. Reasonable assurance is high level of assurance, but it's not a guarantee that an audit conducted in accordance with international standards of auditing will always detect a material misstatement when it exists. As required by the Jamaican Companies Act, we have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for our audit. In our opinion, proper accounting records have been kept, so far as appears from our examination of these records, and the accompanying financial statements are in agreement therewith, and give the information required by the Jamaican Companies Act in the manner so required. The engagement partner on the audit resulting in this independent audit report is Wilfred McKinley, and it was signed by the company on the 25th of February, 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Ellen. We now invite Mr. Andrew Williams, our CEO, to give his report.
Good afternoon again, everyone. And thanks for making the effort to be here today.
Very notes.
Well, well, there's a lot to speak of. I'll be brief today. But there's a lot to speak of over the past year. But I'll leave you to peruse the annual report magazine to see the final details. So, in recapping 2025 for Regency Petroleum, it was a year of experiencing our projections, our targets, and our predictions. It's a continued year over the past 3 years since we have been listed of continued growth for the company. Now, for 2025, as I previously stated in our relations with our shareholders, our interviews, our talks, that we have had 3 service stations in operation. That's for our that's for our automotive fuel side. And we would have continued to allow our LPG division to grow organically. So we saw that through for 2025. I also stated that from time to time we'll have opportunities that come on our table, as we have seen in the past with Spanish Town Road Gas Station. So we have to act immediately and prudently in making decisions as how to proceed when these opportunities come on our table. Especially since we have been a listed company, you'll find that we are a more established company, and we'll have various different opportunities even in various different sectors not relevant to what our primary industry is, will come on our table. And as such, we have to meet with the board, and our governance will include everyone in the management, the governance of the company to make these prudent decisions. So, and we will have seen that if we follow the company's operations throughout the year to present. So, in reverting a bit, we did what we said we were going to do for 2025 in terms of having these service stations being operated so we can experience the revenues and profitability of these that were in the planning prior to 2025. We have seen this, and we are now at a point where we have experienced, after being listed the first year, a revenue of just under 700 million. The first year after, which is 2024, after being listed. So 2023, we listed in December 2022. So for 2023, we had a revenue of just under 700 million. For 2024, we exceeded the 1 billion mark, just over 1.6 billion. And for 2025, we exceeded the $2 billion mark in revenue, which is a significant accomplishment for the company, especially a company recently listed and seeing that growth. So I'm happy to announce that, or to reiterate that. You know, and it goes in line with what we have been projecting thus far. I will go to our outlook shortly so we can know what to look forward to, how the company is looking forward to based on our planning, our assessments, our evaluations, and the targets for the future of the company. And at this point in time, in stating that significant growth over the years, as I always say, it is all due to God's blessings and our inclusion of God in the company and this decision-making process. We always put Him first in what we do with the operations of the company, in all aspects of the company. And this is a direct testimony of that and the result of doing that. So briefly, I just implore each and every one of us to employ or apply that personally and in our businesses, our professions. All right. So just in closing, let me mention before the outlook that I was speaking about the automotive fuel division or sector of the company. However, in moving to the outlook now, I have always stated, because we started out in LPG, cooking gas. That's where we started out originally. Then we branched off into automotive fuel. So who weren't aware of it, I wasn't aware of it. So we actually started out in cooking gas first, then we branched out in automotive fuels, which is gas stations, wholesale and retail. Now, for the LPG, we have been growing it organically. As we can see in our report, it didn't make up much of the revenue, 5%, thereabout, of the revenue for 2025. However, in alignment with what we stated, that we have opportunities on the table. One such opportunity came on board where we did a significant acquisition, closing negotiations taking place the fourth quarter of last year, executing the acquisition the first quarter of this year, which is a significant mark for the company in its LPG division, which we wouldn't have seen much of it in terms of revenues or profitability for last year, but we have certainly seen what it has done to the first quarter, considering its operations just 1 month out of the first quarter. And we are looking forward to that continued growth for the LPG, which looks very bright so far, for our continued growth for the LPG moving forward. So that acquisition was a significant acquisition for the company again. I am being reminded here that our share price is now over $4. Oh, so coming started out at $1, we are now over $4. Our market cap is 5.8 billion. Our revenue was actually over 2 billion, 2 billion and 28,000 for last year, and which I stated the LPG contribution was about 5% of the revenue. Looking forward to significant continued growth for the LPG sector, and that will be including the overall growth for the company's revenue growth in the next quarters to come. We'll see. And again, if any further opportunity comes on the table, we will definitely put it through the processes that have proven successful in terms of planning, in terms of decision making. So we are always looking for these opportunities that will help the company and our shareholders benefit from these decisions that we are making. And we'll include you as we go along and make you aware of the company's decisions as we go forward and movement as we go forward. So in closing now, I think I've been here for some time now, so in closing now, we had a great year 2025 as projected and targeted, and moving forward we have a number of opportunities, our growth projects on the table that will make you, our shareholders and the general audience and the public aware of, and as we keep you in line with our growth pattern and projections, we will keep you abreast of the company's operations. We commit to that, and we'll keep you abreast of the company's growth and operations as we go along. Negative or positive challenges, whatever obstacles, we have done so in the past when we have had a quarter not as we expected it, but we have risen back and been resilient in whatever challenges globally, regionally, or in the island. We have stayed resilient to it, and we will continue to, with the assistance of our directors and the management team, continue to keep you informed and continue to ensure the company's growth. And with the help of God once more, we are confident and certain that the company will see continued growth. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew and Helen. At this point, we're now going to open the floor to questions from you, our shareholders. And let me just remind you, before you ask a question, to state your name and be acknowledged. The floor is now open. Your mic, Harold. Take it off.
Mic check. Yeah, Livingston Young. Every time I have an AGM, through my work, I always miss, always keep it on a Thursday or Monday, which I can't if I come at the meeting. So, I'm on the leave now. So
Worth it, Livingston. It's worth it.
Yeah, man. Yeah? Mr. What's your name again? Mr.
Williams.
Mr. Williams. Don't get me deceived by opening up Wolpa. When I say not to do it, but as a shareholder, don't get me deceived by opening up this Wolpa company but one by one all over, which is a good idea still. The first thing you're supposed to do is you keep a round table talk. After you open them up, keep a round table talk and your thing there, different companies. Because why? Sometimes we end up in a chop and business mash up. So when you get a little explanation on that one, please.
Okay, you're talking about the diversifications.
Yeah,
yes.
the different this and different this.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, man, all right. First of all, we don't just...
Hold on, I can talk, I can finish.
Oh, you finished? Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
go ahead, talk. Yeah, Melissa. No,
Oh,
you go ahead.
okay, you finished.
Why you emphasize?
No, well, we acknowledge and appreciate everything that we are saying with regards to that, because we have been advised by our corporate governance structure that we have in place, which is good, being a listed company. So, in making a decision, especially a decision to diversify, as the chairman always say, moving out of our lane.
Yeah.
That's his words. We want to stay in our lane, which is what you are saying.
Yeah, yes.
Chairman is adamant on that.
Yeah.
However, in making a decision to diversify, which I refer to this diversification as a complementary diversification. That is my words made up. Reason, let me explain that. Complementary diversification, reason why I name it that is because what we are diversifying into is partly at least 50% of what we are doing now in terms of the raw materials. I'm talking in particular now to this asphalt QPR project. That's what you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
Right. So over 90% of the raw materials, first of all, are here in Jamaica.
yeah.
Approximately 35% of that raw material, which is bitumen, or even 40% when you apply the bitumen and diesel fuel that will be used
Yeah,
in the production of this,
yeah.
is something that we already supply. Because we are suppliers of bitumen from Petrojam and diesel oil, ADO, which is at the gas stations. So we saw it where our fuel sales, what we already supply, would have increased. This is a method of securing sales for our diesel, which is not one of the high-end sale products on the automotive fuel side. 90, as you probably would have known, and 87 would have been the higher sale products. Diesel, low sulfur, would have been on the lower end. So this would one, secure sales for our diesel fuel in the manufacturing process, considering that it's a high volume product.
Yeah.
And also for the bitumen, which we have access to supply, but we do not really supply, but we have access to it based on our supplier partnership with Petrojam. So it's the same process of buying fuel, purchasing fuel, same process of purchasing the bitumen for resale. So we now expand our scope from our supplier that we already purchased from. Now, so that was considered. The next thing is that we look at the capital outlay of taking out such a project. So we saw where, and this is what attracted us to it most of all too. We saw where the capital outlay would have been something that we can manage within our reserves, our cash flows. So that was a major factor, attractive incentive for us to go into it also. It's a product of high demand. It's a product of high demand, if you can hear me.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
a product of that will complement what we are already supplying. And it's also very important, I'm a CFO can agree to that, not the capital outlay is what we can manage without coming to the market or going to the bank for loans or trying to finance it otherwise. So that is what attracted us to it. So we are not on the path of seeking out diversifications or seeking out to go into businesses, all different type of businesses.
Yeah.
That was the reason for this decision.
Yeah.
And it went through a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
The board went through it with a fine-tooth comb, and we are where we are now. It's still a work in progress.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still in progress because we haven't started our comments any form of operations as yet.
All right. You can turn to page, thanks. You can turn to page 65, note 9, inventories, 9, 10, and 11. You there, Mr. Chairman?
Yeah.
Inventories, all right. Goods and transit, receivables, 2025 and 2024. All right, first one is goods in transit of 15,183,000. Can I give you an explanation, 2025 and 2024?
All right. Let's see if we best answer that.
I mean, 20.
So what I'm saying is that this good in transit referred to cylinders that we would have ordered, paid for, and yet to arrive in Jamaica. So that's it. What this 15 million represents.
Okay. Your receivables, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Your receivables of 28 million and 59,300 something. Can I give an explanation for same receivables? What made? Yeah.
Our receivables basically would involve trade receivables and other receivables. Trade receivables are. Yes. Okay. The trade receivables would have increased due, not significant, but would have increased due to increase in business over the 2 periods.
Yeah.
And also we have other receivables, which some of it would have related to deferred expenditure. We would have the gas station that we would have been associated with in terms of franchise, and we would have to put some input into those gas stations to
Franchise them.
right. So they would have that receivable would have included some of that payments, and you'd have maybe prepaid expenditure. Those would have account for a significant increase in the receivables over the pay period.
And
But
just add to
Mr.
that, because there was growth, especially after the hurricane, there was, I don't want to say significant, but there was some increased growth, especially after the hurricane, because we were one of the few companies that could supply the Western region with fuel at that point in time. So we secured a lot of, let's say, franchise or sub-franchise service stations. So the increase.
See, you make money because people don't have time to walk up and down, but see, they come. You make money. See, I bless this one.
So that's why I say I could increase in the receivables.
Yeah, all right. The last one, look a bit below. Trading are the same thing as receivables, less impairment and provision.
Yes, we would have provided for anything going bad.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we would have provided, due to the ECL and the regulation with the IRS, we would have provided for our receivables anything that will go bad. So we would have made a provision in the financials.
Yeah, all right. Thanks a lot, here, Mr. Chair.
Okay, good.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think the CEO was talking earlier on about the QPR.
What's your name, sir?
Howard Fong.
Howard Fong. Okay, Mr. Fong?
Was he talking about the QPR thing earlier on?
Yes, you mentioned it.
Well, I just want to know what is the intention or where is it going, what it is about really.
Okay.
Is it a government thing, joint up thing with you and the government? What is it?
No. Well,
Right.
it's a product that majority of the demand will be by the government. So in terms of with the government, they don't purchase the end product. They have contractors who would purchase the end product. So it is basically an endorsement by the minister. It's a product that has been proven and tested. It has been proven and tested. So it's a revolutionary product. So it is a product that
Where has it been tested? Other countries?
no, it's a globally renowned product. It's a primary product used in the United States.
Okay.
QPR. So it's something that you can research. We had actually a launch for it. Sorry, you weren't there. We went into final details of it. But it's a pavement, it's a pothole repair product. In short,
Strictly pothole?
strictly pothole,
Not the paved road?
not to pave roads. That's very important.
Okay.
It's strictly and you know what we are like here in Jamaica. So it's a product that, as I said previously, we went through a lot of due diligence with the product. A lot of decision. We went through with a fine-tooth comb with it, and which is why we made the decision. And the capital outlay in the initial stage would have been what we were to manage within our reserves, our cash flow. So it's value added. Right.
Something similar to that. IAR had something similar to that.
That's the
Robert March is the name.
That's the which one?
IAR of Hagley Park Road had a similar product.
I don't want
There's
to
your
put...
package overseas and sent here, but you're
Right.
packaging yours here.
Well, this product is particularly made for heavy usage, industrial use, highways for heavy loads to travel on. I'm not sure of the details of the other product that might be around, but
I don't hear about it again, though. I don't really hear about
this
it.
one is for internal specifications.
Yeah.
This one is made primarily for heavy usage, heavy loads, highways. Because that's going to make a difference as opposed to a parking lot or somewhere that is not heavily used.
Well, they said it was road use.
Yeah.
But I think it was packaged overseas, shipped here, but
Okay.
I don't hear much about it again. It used to be of Hagley Park Road. They don't hear. They used to
Okay.
promote it heavy. IAR.
Well, I don't know. This one
was
is
like 10 years
is
ago.
a primary product used in the
Yeah.
US.
Or less. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a cold mix. This one is a cold mix.
There's a
So
cold too.
it can be applied in water, in rain. It can be. It doesn't need to be as applied as the hot mix, basically. No, so we have procured the equipment. So we just await. I guess with the global climate now, we're having delays with the equipment because we need to manufacture it here. It's not going to be a product I'm going to import the final product. We're going to manufacture the product here. We're going to manufacture, which is why I was saying earlier that that's a complementary diversification because we're actually going to be using diesel fuel from here, bitumen from here, and the aggregates from here. So the only thing that will be imported, the raw material, would have been just the blend. So everything will be manufactured here.
And bags and everything.
And packaged here. Manufactured, packaged here, sold in bulk and retail.
90% value added.
The product belongs to you.
Yeah.
Where we have the rights.
Your
of the
company,
rights.
yours.
So 90% value added and 10% import of
Right,
what?
right,
What you
right.
import in the 10%? What materials?
That's a QPR blend.
Oh,
That's our liquid blend.
oh. That's mixed
That's
in
the
with
bonding agent, basically. That is what makes it the product it is.
Oh, and it's mixed in with
Makes a
your
difference.
90%.
Right, it's blended
Oh, oh.
with other raw material.
Good afternoon. I'll remain seated as everybody has been doing. Nicola Borrelli, shareholder. You just mentioned the road patching enterprise, that you can apply it in rain.
Yes, we actually had a demo here at the Pegasus a few months ago, I think in March, where we applied it to a pothole outside. We can have a visit on the pothole after, while it was filled with water, actually. So we had a demo. It's on the social media, us patching the pothole in water. And so we can visit it now. It's about 2 months ago to see what the result is. No, I have that confidence. I have that confidence in it. I have that confidence in it.
I remember doing some research when you came out with it, but I can't recall if it needs rolling as we know it.
No,
as well.
If you, again, that demo, we didn't have a roller. Yeah. We had a car that actually drove over to compact it. So it doesn't really need a roller. It doesn't need a roller, actually, to compact itself. There are some tamping tools that you can use. I don't know if you say a shovel to apply it, but the more you drive over, the more it compacts.
Oh, so it won't give us that belly that we know.
You put a final cap on top, okay. So when it compacts, it goes levels down with the road.
It levels down. Yeah. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. Any idea? I know with the whole global situation, any idea when you think you
it is hard to predict, and I don't want to put the neck on the back, right. but it's in progress. It's in progress.
Okay. I have a few other questions. Page 23, you mentioned the top 10 shareholders are increasing their shareholding. Till you all, top 10 shareholders, are under 95%. That doesn't leave much for the general public, does it? If you are on this increasing trend?
Well,
so what's the incentive for us to invest?
Well, the incentive for you to invest currently, dividend for one, but you're talking about current shareholders or for new shareholders?
No, you mentioned your top, on page 23, your top 10 shareholders increased from 90, is it page 23? Yeah. Our top 10 shareholders also increased their interest in the company from 94.16% to 94.58%, as large owners continue to accumulate more shares.
Well, that will be existing shareholders just acquiring more stock. But
yeah, that doesn't mean there's much left for the general public.
Well, we are looking in the future, whenever we plan to expand on the company in terms of raising funds. Just a reminder that we still have funds on the junior market left to raise, because we came to the market for 287. We still have over $400 million left to raise, which can take many different avenues. So as I said earlier, or I think I said it earlier, that as we expand, we will need to raise capital for these projects. So in raising capital, that's an avenue where you can further increase, because it means that the stock would have been the shares would have been diluted, and new shares would have been issued for the opportunity for anyone to come on board, whichever avenue we might take, whether it's a rights issue, AP, or whatever it is.
Okay, thank you. Another question: have you reopened your SAV location?
No, not as yet. It's based on the location and what has been taking place and the nature of what took place. We have to ensure safety and ensure that everything is all well. Based on the nature of the product that was there, you find that issues have been occurring with the environment per se. So we have to ensure that everything is back to normal before we can
Okay, thank you. On your
but let me just state this, sorry, that we have implemented our strategies. So it's been made up at our Paradise location. Whatever revenue, so it has been made up because we already had a location. And that station was where we started out, basically. It's more of a sentimental location.
Sentiment doesn't run business, though, you know.
Exactly. So
another question, if I may. Your Spanish Town Road latest opening, how has that been going?
it has been exceeding our targets. And I can tell you, in terms of our, both economically and socially, it has exceeded what we have targeted and forecasted. Our volumes and sales have exceeded our targets, and our socialization within the community. We are well welcomed within the community. The community accepts us, and we play a part within the community. We play a part with all aspects of the community, to be honest with you. So it's one of our locations that we prize, for many reasons, based on the location and what we have done there. It has encouraged other businesses to come on board, to enter the areas, and we have pioneered something there.
I believe I read recently that one of your competitors has also opened recently down Spanish Town Road.
And I can tell you,
some different infrastructure, if I may put it that way.
I can tell you that I personally wasn't even aware until it was opened. And the reason why I say that, because we haven't seen any drift in our daily analysis of all our locations. So I was actually surprised when I heard it was open a few weeks after it came to my knowledge that it was actually opened. Because we actually planned for this, and strategies to in case there was a dip in our revenue, in our volumes, what we could do, and we over the time we were building up loyalty. So we're a company that builds up loyalty. We have our membership program, we have our taxi, which we pioneered. No other station in Jamaica, I would say, would look out for our taxes. Our club members would have a club membership. I was a gas station. A club membership, I think about Mega Mart, Price Mart, or other businesses. But for a service station to have a club membership and offer you these benefits, it shows that the path that we are on. And we try to develop loyalty within our communities.
And I think what is my last question, at least for the moment, is can we hear something about your Q1 results? They're already out.
Well, the Q1 results are out, and they are exceptional. They are probably our best quarter ever.
And you're not presenting it to us today?
Well, it's the thing, since seeing that it's a 2025.
No matter, the results are out, and we need to know.
You're right.
What's happening?
My wife will mention that to me, how we're not presenting the 2024.
There you go.
The 2026 first quarter.
Yes.
But it's out in the public, and let me just touch on it a bit. It's our best quarter ever. It represents 1 month of LPG operations of our recent acquisition. Our revenues are up. I don't want to state the exact percentage, but it's significantly up over this first quarter. And the LPG has contributed significantly to that. We are quite pleased with that acquisition. Our sales in general for the service stations, again, because of loyalty and strategies that we have put in place, we are now reaping the benefits and experiencing those increased revenues and profitability in this first quarter, which we plan to even further experience quarters to come. So this last quarter, again, is a result of all the planning. It's just not a willingly profit 1 month or just 1 quarter just out. It's really based on our strategies that we have put in place, our planning and our management and governance structure that we have. We are seeing the results of that. And again, by putting God first in all that we do, we will continue, and we feel that we continue to see this continued growth within the company.
Hello there. Yes.
Yes, sir. Could you, yeah. What's your name, sir? You can sit down, but just tell us your name.
Yes, shareholder Martel Fennell.
Martel Fennell.
I'd like to congratulate you on the continued performance.
Thank you.
Anyway, I have one question. This agreement you have with the Spanish Town Road, the lease, I'm just wondering why you didn't show the lease as a separate line item in your P&L and show the what is due to our firm rather, the developer of the gas station. Show his amount as a receivable. You see? So one will be a receivable, and the next one will be a line item for the lease that you pay.
Okay.
So in the future, we'll have a historical view of your lease payments. Right now, it's not included in your financials. We don't know what is the lease.
No problem. All right, so he'll answer, but that agreement was made up in two parts. We had constructed the service station for one part, and there's a separate lease. But he will answer what in terms of the financials and the reporting. Why it's not mentioned or it's not reflected in it.
Okay. Sorry, I would say it's on the balance sheet. There is note 16 of the balance sheet refer to that. So you can.
No, but I'm talking about the expense. The lease is an expense. The lease is an expense.
The lease is an expense.
So why is it not shown in your expenses by nature as listed?
It would have, but remember, sorry, yeah, it would have. But I have to remember, the way we account for the finance lease, according to the IFRS, it takes into consideration not only the lease payment, but other things that are involved in the calculation. So the details working would not be reflected here, I'm sorry. But the net would have been included there in the expense section. It refers to information on the finance lease in the P&L section of it. Can't refer to it right now, but
You point it to me. I can't trace it in your P&L.
All right, you can go on to another question, and okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon. My name is Douglas Wilson. I'm a shareholder. Just have a few questions, clarifications I'm seeking. Just to follow up. First of all, I just want to commend you for the great work you guys are doing, right? And the fact you put God first, I really appreciate that. That's very encouraging.
Thank you.
The question was asked about the most recent quarter, and I was wondering what the impact of the whole Iraq, U.S. situation and so is having on the business in terms Iran. Sorry, I'm living in the past. Is having on the business in terms of, you say it's your best quarter, but does that have anything to do with it? Or you want to elaborate on that? I have some other questions as well.
No problem. All right. So currently and from the first quarter until present, there is no impact whatsoever in terms of our volumes, our revenues, our sales, our profitability so far. I cannot speak to the situation globally as it is now, and if it is continued for any extended period of time, what impact it might have. And the impact we are foreseeing in terms of if it is to continue where it is now for an extended period of time, it might only impact the volumes that are sold. That wouldn't be just for Regency, but for globally. I mean, for everyone wanting to are having to have to purchase less fuel. That's for the automotive fuel sector. For the LPG, no, we haven't seen anything. We don't foresee anything because it hasn't affected the LPG, the products, butane, propane, as significantly as it has with the automotive fuel. So for the first quarter until now, it has not had any impact on our volumes. We as a matter of fact, we have implemented strategies which have actually increased our volumes, meaning that we'll probably be more competitive. We are finding ourselves where we are located now to be more competitive in our surroundings. So we are seeing increased volumes. That is what helped in what we experienced the last quarter, that increase in revenue. But let us see what happens if it continues.
I just want to have another question. This is about the corporate governance of the company. Just want some clarification on the report, because I'm looking at page 15 on the audit and corporate governance. You have NM for, I think it's Andre Foot. I wanted to know what that MN really stood for. That's one thing. And two, in your report, you say you have the audit committee met 4 times, if I'm reading it correctly. And yet, at the same time, you have 5 out of 5 for some of the committee members in terms of the number of times they met. And I have one other question related to the corporate governance. In terms of the environmental committee, I was wondering how come they haven't met for any reason, especially given the sensitive nature of the operations when it comes to the environment. So those are just the questions I have on the corporate section. Okay.
Good afternoon, and thanks for that question. I'm Janice Staff. The NM means not a member, but he sometimes sits in on the meetings. Okay? And then, as it relates to the number of meetings, we have 4 scheduled meetings, but there was on one occasion where we had to meet virtually. So, in terms of governance, we are required to meet at least 4 times for the year, but in this regard, we did exceed it.
Thanks a lot. Right, let's move to environmental.
The environmental, we developed the charter for that committee, and we are taking advice from a consultant. So I think the chairman, sorry, the CEO can speak more about that. But right now, we already have the charter. We are aware of the sensitive environment in which we work, but more anon. I don't know if Andrea had anything.
So we would outsource. We would outsource that, which we're getting proposals now on that.
Do I need to state my name again? Okay.
We know you know. We know you're good.
Okay. What accounts for the huge variations in the selling and distribution amounts and the finance costs? I'm on the revenue statement of comprehensive income.
Page what?
That is page 54. 54. Sizable differences.
Repeat the question. We're on page 54 now.
Yes, selling and distribution.
Okay.
2024 was 2 million over, and in 2025 it's 287,000. Finance cost was 8 million over, and now 44 million in 2025.
Okay, can I address the selling and distribution? Yes, okay. In 2024, we were offering commission to certain person to assist with marketing the product. And especially it has been coming on from basically inception, but now we are mature and we discontinued that those commissions. Yeah. What was the question? Sorry about that.
Finance costs increased by...
Yeah, well, the finance costs, a significant portion of a significant portion of that would have relates to finance lease and how the finance lease is being accounted. It has been accounted just like a loan, so you have to account for interest expense on it, which is in accordance with accounting standard. Yes. Okay. Right. So it's not really a loan as a commercial loan or a bond, but it has to do with the lease, long-term lease.
Yeah. Mic check. Yeah. Mic check. Mr. Chairman, as a Regency Petroleum, as our company, we like to come up with some clever idea. We own things that make up a Jamaica, use it in the business. We give thanks to that, and God bless you for the knowledge to do what you want to.
Thank you.
The next one, the first, I think you mentioned about 100 million first, about the revenue, something like that. I don't quite remember for that. And it's like 700 million in the next.
Okay.
Hold on a little bit. Let me make it talk. You take tax out of the 100 million and the 700. When you take tax out of them, how much you have left out of the revenue?
The CFO will answer that better than that. But remember, we are tax free now. But you want to know, like, if we were to take taxes from it?
No, I want to know when you take tax out of the 100 million, how much you have left out of the revenue?
No, which 100 million?
Tax?
No. So we are tax free for the next 5 for the first 5 years.
Right.
So the next 2 years.
Yeah, all right. Yeah. Wells.
If allowances for taxes, we have to be making allowances for that.
Ms. Burrows.
Damien Austin, shareholder. I'm at page 54 on the other operating income. I'm interested in other income. This 3.7 million. What is this other income consist of? I haven't seen any notes beside it.
Okay, sorry. Nice question. Other income would have relates to property that would have been leased. So it's really lease income. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, is there anything that you would do different, having gone through that experience, or what lessons have been learned, if any, assuming they have been?
Well, one thing we're sure of, based on the technology that we employ and apply to our company, making it what it is now, because that plays a major part of the company in our operations. The technology that we use set us apart from our competition in many cases. So what we have learned is that it is absolutely important to have connectivity. As simple as it might sound, especially in a situation where a section of the country was affected so significantly compared to the other sections of the island. So what you find is that, unfortunately for us, our head office and 2 of our locations are located in the area that was. However, other sections of the island, it was business as usual. There was no connectivity, and our business is highly dependent on, for the operations, on connectivity. So what we have learned is that we need to ensure that we have our Starlink in place, and if possible, we have other alternative, so Starlink along with other alternative connection, internet connections. So that is what really set us apart in terms of being in the Western region primarily, and to be able to exist in such a situation. So, as a disaster that happened. So that is what we was confirmed. We had an idea already, but that was confirmed that we have to, based on our operations and what we employ technology, because we try to move with the technology. And if we're going to continue that in that path, we have to ensure that we have connectivity, which is very important. That allowed us to stand out amongst the competition, and that allowed us to experience what we experienced. Because again, I repeat that we were, if not the only company that could supply the Western region with fuel at a point in time. To have great assistance, especially in that time. Yes, but let me reiterate and let me enlighten you a bit. We are in an industry where we are competing. We are competing with multinationals. And these companies are monsters to where we started out from. And they are multinationals. They compete globally. Fortunately for us, we, based on our loyalties and our strategies that we had in place and our suppliers and our supplier, we were able to do what we did. I don't want to delve too much into the details, but we were able to do what we did.
All right, we're going to take 2 more questions.
Yeah, the name is Tavares Donaldson, shareholder. All right, so I'm going to start off by basically commending you guys for the good performance. And I'm really, based on my projection, it will continue throughout the year. Because I kind of pay close attention to the stations and I realized that even Paradise after the hurricane start to see a lot of traffic build up, but you guys need to get some more of the pumps them up because I realized that some of the pumps them still not work. So we need to get those pump up so we can get the people them around through the station faster so we can make some more money. All right. Another thing. No man, the pump your thing and afraid of me, man. Once you see me come, then no say. Yeah, man. So another thing, I realized that I mentioned it last year, and I don't really see.
Just to address that a bit. All stations are insured, so we have a little delay with the insurance. So that is part of the reason why we don't have everything fully operational as yet. We don't want to go ahead because I don't know if you know what the experiences have been like with insurance, especially since lately. We don't want to go ahead, and fully remedy everything. But although if it's not, I know that we hear your concern. Know that is a concern that it might be what you're saying might be hampering our sales.
Yeah.
But then we have to take it into hand.
Yeah. Another thing that I mentioned last year at the AGM. I say we take advantage of, you mentioned it earlier, the 400 and something million were available for the company to be able to raise. One of the reasons why I push for that is because the company is approaching the 5-year mark, which the company is going to have to start to pay half the amount of taxes. And if we take long to use that capital, which should have maybe bring in some more cash so you can have more retained earnings. In the future, we can get some dividend out of that retained earnings. What I don't want is that basically we are use the cash when we are basically raise the funds when it's time. So to me, a lot of value would be lost along that time. So that basically are the first part linking to the other question, which while the company is basically already moving aggressive, I myself is a very aggressive businessman, and I think the company need to be a bit more aggressive also because by the time you check it out, is a 10 years that now, and then we have to go start pay full tax. So we need to get in as much revenue during this time as we are able to. So 400 odd million the last time, it cost 200 and something million to build one of them stations there. That sound like 2 gas stations to me. If it is that you can build it, maybe can lease one of them. To make the books look nice and less expense. But the truth is that we need to be more aggressive. And no, it takes a lot of time because you have to do research. But as you mentioned earlier, the other multinationals, they are moving very aggressive. So once we wait until the spaces are full, we won't have nowhere to put the gas station. And the other thing now is that I really appreciate the diversification that was mentioned earlier with the QPR product. I think it's a very good addition because most of all, I think the profit margins on the QPR product would be better than the LPG and the gas. So I think that will work out best for the company in the future. So those are my main concerns so far.
All right, so let me address it.
Well, actually working for that, I just need a couple more 1,000 shares and can apply for the board when reach the 10% mark.
Yeah, buy up the shares, there, man.
No, actually, I may buy them up for sure, you know, but I don't know what the other. I just say.
All right, we have to wrap up soon. All right. Hold on. Let her go, yeah.
Yeah, I am not a sugar agent. You reported sustainable growth.
What's your name?
Not a sugar agent.
Natasha.
What I'm saying, you reported sustainable growth in revenues and earnings. Congratulations on that, right? Congratulations. However, I want to know what specific milestones must Regency Petroleum achieve before initiating your first dividends payments to shareholders?
All right. We are a growing company, as you know, and we want to be a household name in Jamaica. So we started out very, very small, very minute in terms of market share in the industry, and we have gained, over the years, we have gained additional market share by growing the company and reinvesting within the company for it to grow. So yes, we are eagerly anticipating dividend payout. However, as mentioned earlier, being a listed company on the stock exchange, we are a lot more established than prior to being listing. And because of that, we have a lot of opportunities that come on our table. And being a growing company, as Mr. Tavares said, we need to be aggressive, especially in the industry that we are and who our competitors are. So, yes, whilst we want to do a dividend payout, or would have done one already, or we have these opportunities that we need to exploit and make prudent decisions on. So that would have hindered any idea of us wanting to make a dividend payout. But we are looking forward to make a dividend payout. I don't want to state a time right now, but at the same time, it's a balancing act. We have to balance with our growth pattern and growth projections, and how to finance these projects or these expansions, and how to balance it with a dividend payout. So yes, we are looking forward, but I cannot state a timeline right now as to when it will be, but we definitely look forward to paying dividends.
All right. Final question.
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, based upon what Ms. Tingner talked about, the hurricane. Tingner.
Based on what?
Livingston, young. Based upon what she did say, and when the hurricane and such forth, when you guys like have Delco each one of the in case.
Yeah, man, we have generators at our locations.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thank you all very much for those thought-provoking questions, suggestions, and goodwill. There be no further questions. I would now like to put for the vote the resolution for the adoption of the audited accounts for the year ended December 31st, 2025, and the reports of the directors and auditors before the meeting. Resolution 1, that the audited accounts and reports of the directors and auditors for year ended December 31st, 2025 be hereby adopted. Do I have a proposal? All right, Livy. Seconded. Okay, Ms. Barrow. Those in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. We now move to the second item of business, re-election of directors. Resolution 2 on the agenda, the re-election of directors. The summary and profiles of the directors who are up for re-election can be found on page 10 of the annual report. Article 102 of the Company's amended Articles of Incorporation provides that at the annual general meeting, subsequent to the first AGM, the company 1/3 of the directors, except the managing director, shall retire every year. One director will retire under this article. And that is our director, Mr. Edgar Bennett, who being so eligible, offers himself up for re-election. I put it to the resolution to the meeting that Director Edgar Bennett, retiring by rotation and being eligible for reappointment, be and is hereby re-elected a director of the company. He is a very important person on this board. Right? David Rose. Seconder? Carmen Leslie. Those in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried. Congrats, Mr. Director. Don't like have a garrison inside here, man. The next resolution before the meeting is to fix the remuneration of directors. That the amount of $1,773,333 included in the audited accounts of the company for the year ended December 31st, 2025 as remuneration for their services as directors be and is hereby approved. I now invite a shareholder to propose the resolution. May I have a proposer? All right, Livy. Seconder? Douglas Wilson. Those in favor? Any against?
Yeah, exactly.
The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried. And I think the final resolution is to appoint the auditors and authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. I move that item 4 of the agenda, which deals with the appointment of the auditors. Our auditors, McKinley and Associates, Chartered Accountants, have expressed their willingness to continue in office and will do so in accordance with the provisions of the Companies Act. The meeting is being asked to authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditors. I now invite members to propose the following resolution: that McKinley and Associates, Chartered Accountants, having signified their willingness to continue in office as auditors, be and hereby appointed auditors for the company to hold office until the conclusion of the next AGM and a remuneration to be fixed by the directors of the company. I invite a proposer. Livingston again. Thank you. Those in favor? Any against? The ayes have it. I declare the motion carried. Ladies and gentlemen, as usual, that concludes the formal business of this meeting, and I thank you for your interest and support and input into this meeting. I will now call for the termination of this meeting, and I invite a shareholder to propose the resolution. John? Or Mark Anthony? No. You just come. You reach late. Him timing good. Those in favor? Those against? I declare the motion carried and declare the 4th annual general meeting of the company terminated. Once again, thank you very much, and thank you also for your continued support and prayers.